I can't say there was any easy part.
All was difficult.
It was all difficult, yes.
Doctor, one more question. So they are asking, that's also, I think, a very nice question, which is how much money you require to appear and apply for the exam?
Okay, that's a very good question. The fees for the exam itself, I think currently around 7,000 or 8,000 Australian dollars.
Oh my God.
But there's a big but. First of all, a lot of people find that they need to take courses, whether it's for the written or the practical. I myself took a course for the practical. This course might not be in your country, so you have to maybe have to pay in a currency that is stronger than your local currency, which means it's going to be expensive. The resources that you need to take the course or even prepare at home for the practical exam will also cost you a lot because you have to order things online from America or Canada or whatever, which is also expensive. The practical exam is only in Melbourne, Australia, which means you have to book a flight to Australia and accommodation, and you have to book a flight back home because you can't stay in Australia because you have to wait 2 months for the results. So all that goes into the and these prices change, so I can't really, I don't remember how much I paid, but it was a lot, and it's probably a lot more now.
Okay, so they're asking which procedures will you perform in a practical exam?
Okay, the procedures that come in the practical exam, the technical one, they're actually known, so they're not a secret. They are almost always the same. There's six. Let me try and remember them all. There's one crown preparation, always. There's one endo access, always, and it's almost always on an upper six. There is one caries, simulated caries tooth that you have to drill the cavity for and remove the caries. That's usually a class 2, either upper or lower molar. There is, it might be an upper incisor as well. There is, what else? Filling. You have to do a composite filling. There is an amalgam filling. Amalgam filling usually comes with a cusp buildup. I don't know why people are still using amalgam to do cusp buildup, restoring the whole tooth, but it just makes you go crazy.
Yeah, that's true, yes.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't remember what else.
It's okay.
Endo-operative.
And no
Sorry?
extractions.
The extraction, I think there's extraction in the OSCE, on the OSCE day, but I didn't get an extraction in my exam.
Oh, okay. There is one more question. I find it very interesting question, to be honest. So how much is the salary if the charge for the applying to this exam is so is it worse for
There are no salaries here. It's all percentage. So the more you work, the more you earn, but you will earn the money for the exam very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're working in government hospitals, clinics, I don't know.
Government, I think government is closed for just for foreigners now. It's all private.
Okay.
But I don't know how much they earn, to be honest.
No, as a foreigners, that's the real answer. That you will earn as much as you work.
Yeah.
What do you feel like during the revision? The basic knowledge is very important, such as anatomy. I don't know, histology. This or no?
The best thing about the written exam for the Australian Dental Council is there is no basic sciences. There's no biology, there's no chemistry, there's no microbiology. It's all just dentistry.
And what would be your advice, to our students or fresh graduates? What's your advice? How to prepare to this exam? Or maybe there are some tips that you could give to them based on your own experience.
Okay. My advice is Well, first of all, this exam process is for people who want to move to Australia. So if you don't want to move to Australia, there's no reason you should be doing this. Now, should you be moving to Australia or not? That depends on your current situation. If you feel like you're living a good lifestyle and you have the potential to earn good money in the country where you're working now, then there's no real reason to move to another country. But if you feel like that's not the case, which was my case because I started out in Egypt, then maybe, yes, look into moving to Australia. But look into moving to Australia and talk to people who actually live there before you start doing the exam.
Uh-huh.
If you have already started preparing for the exam or you've made up your mind that you're going to do this, my advice is to invest all your time in it because it is very expensive and you don't want to be messing with it and then fail and repeat and fail and repeat.
Definitely, yeah.
Speaking of failing, I had to do my practical exam twice over an amalgam filling. So I hate amalgam. Yeah, so one amalgam filling, and I had to go to Australia another time just to do the exam. And if you fail the practical exam, after 3 years of finishing your written exam, you have to repeat the written exam again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, take it seriously. Facebook groups are very good because you'll find people from all over the world studying together with different sources. So you don't feel like you have to do all the work by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Doctor,
there's going to be lots of study material on there as well.
Doctor, there is a question. So, is there is any problem with BDS and DDS degree holder in appearing for the exam? So the doctor is saying that as per him, he's from Pakistan and recently graduated. So Pakistani graduates are getting BDS degree. So is that a problem? The difference between BDS and DDS, or there was no such question for you?
Hmm. For me, that was not.
You
It
graduated
did,
from doctor,
I graduated from Egypt. I got Bachelor of Dental Science,
so BDS.
oral science. I don't think it's a big issue, the name of the degree. The most important thing is how many years, whether it's recognized in your country or not,
Mm-hmm.
and the hours, I guess, because part of your application is going to be a transcript of your whole degree. But for more information, I guess you have to contact Australian Dental Council. Their website is adc.gov.au. But I didn't have any issues with like accreditation or
But
anything related to my degree.
so I think this is also helpful for the graduate from Pakistan. Doctor, one more question. So they are asking how many attempts you can do.
I believe there's no limit. The problem is with validity. So your step one, where you have to apply all your documents, that is valid for 7 years. Step two, which is the written exam, is only valid for 3 years. Now, because they take a long time to reply to your applications, that wastes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, when I was doing the practical exam, no, actually, when I was doing the written exam, I had a friend who was applying for the practical exam. He didn't find any seats. And at that time, there was only 2 exams per year. So if you don't find seats in that one, you might have to wait 6 months. If you don't find in that one, you have to wait one whole year, and then you've just lost one of your 3-year validity. But now they're doing the exam every week, the practical exam.
Oh, that's
So
great.
it's easier to do more attempts.
Doctor, regarding the work or the jobs to get in Australia. So once you have finalized all your exams and etc., and you are a registered dentist, so was it easy to find a job, or it took a long time as well?
It didn't take a long time, but it's not easy. It depends where you want to work. So in the major cities, there's no work. There is work, but they want someone with local experience. So if you're new in the country, you don't have local experience. There's lot. Australia is really big, so the major cities are a very small part of it, but the rest of it is still there, and there are people living in lots of towns. And medical staff is not that great in country towns, or they don't have a lot. So that's where most of the jobs are there for the people who are newly coming to Australia. Plus, you will not find a visa that will allow you to work in a major city for the first 2 years of your stay. Because there's lots of dentists in the country, on the immigration side of things, they don't want any more dentists. Yeah, but you can still find a visa, but as a condition, they would ask you to stay for 2 years in a country town before you can go anywhere else.
Okay.
So there are jobs, but it's not easy. It's not impossible, but it's not easy.
As all over the world, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Doctor, you have mentioned that it would be good to, to join Facebook groups to prepare for this exam. And could you name some of these groups that would be helpful?
I think they're all called ADC, just ADC Part 1. Just find any group that's called ADC and join it.
In Facebook.
Join them all, yeah, and then you will find out which one is helpful and which one is not. I knew someone who was active on Facebook, but he's not doing it anymore.
He passed his exam, maybe that's why.
No, he was actually doing this like as a hobby. After he passed his exam for a few years, he was helping everyone. His name is Muhammad Sulaiman. So try and find it on Facebook, Muhammad Sulaiman ADC. Maybe the group is still there. He's not active, like the person himself is not there, but I think the group is still there.
Okay, so maybe you can find some information there as well. There is a question, if there's any scholarship program.
This is outside of ADC, like for universities?
I think maybe he meant that for education, not for the license exam. I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, we are. So, doctor, I don't know. We will see if there will be any other questions or no. But in the end of the day, I would like to say that thank you very much again for participating in this. And it's Friday for some of the countries. It's a holiday, but you're still with us. And I guess that your information was very helpful for our students. Would you like to tell anything to our colleagues and students?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's really nice. It was my pleasure. I'm always happy to help. Anyone is always more than welcome to message me about anything. My information is maybe a bit outdated because after I passed, I stopped like staying up to date with all the exam stuff, and it's still going, so it's still changing. But still, I would be happy to help anyone who needs any advice. At the end of the day, do what you think is right for you, and do it with 100% effort, and just try not to regret anything. Yeah.
That's correct. That's true. Thank you very much again, Dr. Shehab, for your time. And you will receive many questions private in your maybe Instagram account. So be ready for that. I think there was one last question. I'm very sorry. So they're asking how much percentage required for eligibility in academic. I think this is again the question about education, not about the license.
I have no information about education at all. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you safe, inshallah.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.